Do we have an intimate, profound, and long-term bedtime relationships with electrical installation and devices surrounding us while we sleep? Stick around and find out. Whether we like it or not, sleeping is a very important activity in our life. The quality of our sleep will greatly determine the quality of our life. Our modern homes can be very comfortable, but we seem to be ignoring or have completely forgotten that our technologies are imposing major environmental changes in our most private spaces, that is, if you compare these exposures to natural ones. Electromagnetic fields are invisible to our eyes. They go through walls and can concentrate in some areas. Magnetic fields actually go right through our body. Skin is no barrier. Actually, lots of people can feel their subtle presence, but just don't connect the dots if they do not have the opportunity. So let's check out this nice, spacey, and quiet bedroom for low-frequency magnetic and electric fields. At first look, everything seems great. But there actually is the electrical entrance of this house just on the other side of the wall. We also have electrical devices like charging cell phones, a lamp, and a radio clock. Let's see what's going on in this invisible realm of EMFs and their bedside manners. Let's begin by grossly assessing the magnetic fields with this good old analogic magnetometer. The needle towards the right side indicates higher levels of exposure. This type of low-frequency magnetic field exposure will vary according to distance and electrical consumption. All right, let's bring in other magnetometers and scan the place. We can observe that more than half of the bed area is occupied by a much higher alternative magnetic field that is concentrated in the head area. This exposure fluctuates with consumption. The magnetic field exposure coming from the home electrical installation in this particular case is normal and not easy to lower with quality materials. But we would love to be in a bed that is not invaded by fast oscillating artificial magnetic and electric field. It's like sleeping on the electric avenue, and then they'll take it higher by looking at some quick mitigation solutions we can apply. To greatly reduce exposure, one should keep at least 1 meter or 3 feet away from an average domestic electrical entrance that does not have any electrical code issues. Some electrical issues can greatly stretch the magnetic fields in the whole room, if not throughout the whole house. In this case, moving away from the source will be our first option, as long as the other walls check out good. So we can definitely see that there is no magnetic field source in the adjacent wall. So let's move the bed and see what is left of the exposures. Besides the electrical entrance for this house, the other source of magnetic field is this type of clock. We can easily move it further away or replace it by a battery-operated one, for example. To remove the exposure from the charging wires, we can refrain from charging the phones near the bed area. So after moving away from the electrical entrance, the radio clock, and the charging cell phone wires, we have reduced the magnetic fields by an average of 78.5% with more than 98% for the head area. So we have taken care of the magnetic fields. But what about the electric fields, which appear as soon as we have voltage in the wiring? That exposure varies with the quantity and type of wiring in the walls, floors, and ceiling surrounding the sensitive area, and of course the humidity levels. More humidity, stronger exposures. The exposures from the electric fields in this area are coming from a combination of wiring inside the walls and from the live wiring plugged around the head of the bed area. In this situation, the floor and the right side wall have few wirings in them, thus delivering very low exposures. To mitigate the electric fields, we can reduce, move away, or turn off the wiring around the bed area when not in use. Please check out my electric field videos for more details. This is the result for electric field exposures of the sleeping surface with wiring plugged and unplugged. The remaining exposure you see is coming from the wiring in the house itself. We have identified that one circuit breaker activates most of the wires that give us the highest electrical fields in the wall of the sleeping area. So we turned it off to see its related exposures. Here is the result of the scan, with the breaker on and off. In this particular case, we can put the breaker off most of the time, and some products can help us do that with no hassle. So here are the initial levels of exposure for low-frequency electric and magnetic fields on the bed surface. So with the combination of replacing some sources, moving away from other ones, Long-term exposure for electric fields were effectively reduced by more than 98%, and magnetic fields exposure were reduced by an average of 78.5% with a 98% for the head area. Excellent. I hope this electrifying knowledge hasn't shocked you too much to keep you awake at night. You can compare the levels of exposure in this experiment with the suggested exposure guidelines in the link below. Please like and share, and I hope to see you in my next video. Eyes open, no fear. Take care, everyone. 3E.